Welcome to Young Money. I'm Nozi Pombanjo, and as you know, this is the show about us. This is the show about the ones who want to break the bank, the ones who want to go beyond the hustle. Of course, it is CNBC Africa's freshest and youngest show. And of course, joining me today, we're going to be looking at the best business ideas that are created to solve real-life problems. And so we're going to be talking to a young man all the way from Nigeria, and he's going to be telling us about his entrepreneurial venture that is improving food and income security for 28 million small farmers in Nigeria. We're also going to be speaking to Steve Latta about crowdfunding, and he's going to be joining us from Cape Town and really getting into the nuts and bolts of how crowdfunding actually works. Now remember that if you want to be a part of the show and you want to be a part of creating a generation of moguls, all you need to do is just send your thoughts on social media. Drop us a tweet at @TheRealNozi. That's where you can follow me. And of course, the hashtag is YoungMoney410. Don't forget, of course, to follow at CNBC Africa. Now we know that one of the biggest challenges for entrepreneurs across the globe has always been about matching their big original ideas to the capital necessary to make them actually happen. Traditional forms of gathering capital are complicated, they're expensive, there's lots of red tape and regulations all around them. Joining me now from Cape Town is Steve Latta. He's the founder and director of a website called Find, he's going to be explaining crowdfunding as an alternative form of funding for entrepreneurs. Steve, thank you for making the time to join us. Let's take a couple of steps back and just get you explaining to us what is crowdfunding and how does it work?
Crowdfunding is basically an alternative way of raising funds. Normally what people would do is they would go to an institution or to one single investor and ask them for a large amount of money for their project or their venture. With crowdfunding, you harness the power of the crowd and you go to the crowd and you ask them for small contributions. So you have lots of small contributions instead of one large contribution. And in return for these contributions, you as the project owner must offer the potential funders some kind of reward.
Would that
in return for their contribution.
Would that reward be equity in the traditional sense, or are there other ways of giving rewards to those who are contributing towards the venture?
There are crowdfunding platforms out there that do give equity. Our crowdfunding platform, however, is rewards based. So what we encourage is for people to give, say now they're starting a business that makes soaps, for instance. They could give the contributors a bar of soap as their reward for their contribution. And basically any kind of physical thing that they can give that falls in line with what the business does.
Steve, what's the best way of actually getting to people who could be part of the crowd? What's the most effective platform to access these investors?
These days with social media and the way things are going online, marketing on your social networks and stuff is very, very effective. What we found is that most successful crowdfunding campaigns actually access their circle of influence first. They approach their friends and their families, and from that it sort of snowballs outwards, and they get a lot of contributors, obviously depending on whether or not their offering is very interesting and exciting that people can get involved in.
What are the big ideas that that you might have seen crowdfunding really rallying around in the South African context?
In the South African context, it's been it's growing. It's quite it's not as large as it is overseas yet. What I've found so far is there's a lot of creative projects that are becoming quite successful. Like a musician bringing out a CD or a person trying to make a film. There's a lot of that sort of project happening, very sort of creative stuff, and there's also been quite a few successes in the sort of entrepreneurial field with little startup businesses and that sort of thing.
Can crowdfunding be used for maybe societal or developmental issues and not just business ventures?
Definitely. We've also had a lot of projects that are sort of community based. For instance, we've had a project that was a little farm school in the Free State that needed funds to build an extra building on their premises, and they've been quite successful. And also, we've had major success in the medical field. There have been people that need money to have an operation or need some kind of medical machine in order to sort of save their life, and those have been very successful projects.
What are the red flags that an entrepreneur needs to look out for, Steve, if they want to use crowdfunding as a platform to attract investors before they jump in?
Basically, what I think they need to know is that they mustn't just submit their project and assume that the money is going to start rolling in. It takes a lot of hard work. The projects that have been the most successful are the people that basically live and breathe their project for the duration that it's running on the platform. They are constantly talking to people, they're tweeting, working, they just networking the whole time, and those are the projects that are the most successful. It's not just a case of put it on and the money will roll in. You actually have to do a lot of hard work still.
Steve, thank you so much for your time. Steve Latta, he is the founder and director of the website Fund, and that does bring us to our next interview, where we headed over to Nigeria, where we're catching up with Jahil Oliver. He's an entrepreneur who saw great opportunities in agribusiness. Not only was he going to line his pockets for his future, but he was going to be a part of a global movement to intensify food security on the continent when he established a company called Hello Tractor. He joins me now via Skype to talk more about his business. Thank you for making the time to join us, Jahil. Perhaps just give us a sense, the idea behind Hello Tractor. What are you doing on a daily basis, and how are you changing the agribusiness space in Nigeria?
The idea behind Hello Tractor is that farmers in Nigeria, and in fact across sub-Saharan Africa, face labor constraints, which is a surprising phenomenon given the high unemployment rates. But demographic shifts in countries like Nigeria are such that a lot of the young people are moving to the cities for more attractive jobs and opportunities. And the farm populations in rural areas are aging and don't have access to farm labor to prepare the land that they have access to. So we came in with a solution that provides tractor services to these individuals in a way that's very convenient and low cost.
And how does the delivery of the tractor service actually work? So the tractor gets to the farm. How does that process take place? And what kind of work does the hired tractor then do in assistance to the farm holder?
Sure. So we sell our smart tractors to rural entrepreneurs who want to earn additional income. We then pair that smart tractor owner with farmers who are texting for tractor service. So I'm a farmer, it's the planting season. All I do is simply send a text message with a short code for a specific tractor activity. It could be tilling, it could be plowing, it could be irrigation, it could even be transport services. Our trailers can haul with their trailer attachment up to 3 tons. But I text that short code into the cloud, and Hello Tractor pairs that request with the nearest smart tractor in the market with the applicable attachment. And that smart tractor owner arrives within days and provides a service that's, at the land prep stage at least, 40 times faster than manual labor and 1/3 the cost. It's a pretty amazing solution to a big problem.
Yeah. So how does the cost come down so much, Jahil? In particular, thinking around the efficiency that you're bringing, how does the technology enable the cost to be so much lower than traditional labor?
Yeah, well, I mean, at the core of the platform is this idea of collaborative consumption. No different than Uber in the US and, well, Uber worldwide now, right? Because Uber is now even in Lagos. But the idea that if I just bought a car, for instance, and I use that car just for my own personal use, I probably can't afford a nice new car, right? But through platforms like Uber, I can buy the nicest, newest car and earn additional income with that expensive asset by providing car hire services to individuals who need those services. Our platform is no different, except we apply that concept to tractors. Now, why it's cheaper than manual labor is rural labor wages have been increasing significantly over the last decade in Nigeria. And a lot of that is those demographic shifts that I talked about. And it takes a rural laborer a significant amount of time to prepare a hectare of land, which is the average plot size in Nigeria is 1.1 hectares. Our tractors can do a hectare in just a couple hours. So what one person can do in a month, our smart tractor can do in less than a day.
So,
and so that's where the...
Jay, if I just jump in, I mean, one of the things about Uber is that it has taken off tremendously, and as you've said, is in the Nigerian market even now. What's been the traction around Hello Tractor? And in terms of growth projections, how much bigger do you think that this really amazing venture could get?
Yeah, it's a good question. First of all, I think it's a lot of upside in the Nigeria market. I think for us, if we're successful in launching our manufacturing facility for our smart tractors, we think we can clear around 75 to 80,000 units per annum at max capacity. And there's room for even more. I mean, Nigeria represents one of the least mechanized markets in the world, but it has one of the largest inventories of uncultivated farmland. And so what that means is that people aren't farming their land because they don't have tractors. So Hello Tractor needs to be there, but there probably needs to be more than just Hello Tractor in a market like this to satisfy the demand. We've had some great success. Sorry?
Jahil, just give us a sense of how you started, because I mean, it certainly sounds like this is an amazing idea, but give us a sense of your challenges around getting funding. Was it an easy sell? Did you need lots of capital? Were funders lining up to put money behind you and back this idea?
Yeah, I mean, it's another great question. My background is private equity and investment banking, US based. And so I know how these folks think. So I didn't waste a whole lot of time chasing after traditional VC money. What we did was, in our funding mix, we have everything from grant capital, social impact investors, which played a critical role in some of our early stage funding. And only now are we pursuing commercial investment. And reason being, a lot of the perception of risk within our markets is such that fundraising for an early stage company is incredibly difficult. And so instead of wasting time trying to sell Nigeria, which we think Nigeria is just a phenomenal investment opportunity for all asset classes across industries, instead of wasting time trying to sell Nigeria, we went to people who understood the market and were willing to place big bets on companies solving big issues.
A very quick one as we wrap up, Jahil. In a couple of seconds, your vision for Hello Tractor, 5 years from now, what kind of conversation could we be possibly having?
5 years from now, Hello Tractor wants to be the largest provider of tractors across sub-Saharan Africa. We also want to have a data analytics platform that guides the agricultural industry across the sub-Saharan African market.
Well, Jahil, thank you so much for your time. And that's, guys, is Jahil Oliver. He is the founder of Hello Tractor. We told you that young money was taking on the continent. And there you have it, young entrepreneurs that are playing in big markets like Nigeria and making a difference in the lives of 28 million farmers. Now, for you at home, if you want the Young Money crew to come to you, all you need to do, just tweet us. The hashtag is YoungMoney410. Drop us a question or tell us about your business and we'll try and get the crew to you. Until next time, let's keep it rich and let's keep it real.